Hello, party people. Welcome and welcome back to another fun-filled edition of Soap Lore. I'm your host, Jet, still viewing and reviewing the soapiest, suckiest primetime storylines of 1982. We're back for a repeat of one of my favorite ever episodes of Dallas. So whether you're new to this or true to this, sit back and enjoy. Tell the kids it's time to play outside or out of sight. Tell babe no questions, suggestions, or concerns for the next 25 to 35 minutes. Everyone else in earshot, cool, quiet, or kicked out are the only options you've got because we are watching our stories. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Soap Lore. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome and welcome back to another fun-filled edition of Soap Lore. I hope your day is shaping up well. I am over the moon delighted. If you've been listening to me for an extended period of time, you may or may not have gone all the way back to the beginning. Listen, if you haven't, I'm not offended. We are at 300, and I believe this is 371 episodes of Soap Lore. I don't expect you to listen to them all. If you did, good on you. Love that. Love that for you. Love that for me. One of my favorite episodes ever of Dallas happened during season 1. Now, season 1 has a little bit of controversy about it. Nothing too major, but story has it was only supposed to be like a little mini series, 5 or so episodes. It was popular enough to be made into a television series, so they extended it out. If you're watching on Amazon and places like that, it starts at season 2 because all of the episodes are together. Other places, season 1 is just the 5 episodes. Sometimes it's 8 for some reason. And then it's another 18 episodes. This episode was called The Barbecue. It was fantastic. I might actually go back and rewatch that again today just because it's literally one of my favorites. Sue Ellen was completely off her rocker. She was white girl wasted the entire episode. So was Digger Barnes. I don't know what the bartender was pouring it up, but it was not diluted with ice. He didn't give a damn. He must have been about to quit or something. He had them people schnockered, okay? They were cutting up. Sue Ellen riding a horse trying to get in Bobby's drawers. Pam fell from the rafters and lost a baby. Digger Barnes got drunk per usual, but he was killing them hoes on the makeshift dance floor. He was river dancing on them. It was an electrifying episode, to say the least. It lives rent-free in my head from time to time. I'll just think about it and cackle a little bit. But we're not here for that one. This is the Ewing Barbecue Part 2. So go ahead and pour yourself up something bubbly and bright. I think I'm going to be responsible this episode and say, if you do get yourself a good old stiff drink, please put a little ice in it. And then go back and watch episode, I believe it's 4 or 5. I have to look it up. It's 4 or 5 of season 1 of Dallas, and have yourself a good old time. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to jump into season 5, episode 13, Barbecue 2. Man, there's so much going on this episode. At the top of the episode, we get to see Ellie Ewing walking on her sprawling ancestral home known as Forklift. South Fork. She immediately catches my eye because I don't feel like we get to see her outside of her house very often if she's not at the Ladies of the Alamo meeting or in a courtroom or something. I never see her just sort of walking the grounds. She is this episode probably just trying to clear her head. Last we left, JR played himself, thank God, in court by not playing Sue Ellen. I really wanted him to say something because I wanted her to jump up and be like, he got my sister pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get back to the story, but I'm so tired of all of her business being put out in the street. She got to keep his business close to the chest. No, air it out. This man has slithered away, and don't get it wrong, I love me some JR. But JR just got off scot-free for almost losing his mama's house 2 times in 2 seasons. Every time you turn around, he's in some mess. But we know all of Sue Ellen's lovers. We know that she likes alcohol and mouthwash. We know that she crashed into a pole and went to premature labor. We know that it almost was Cliff's baby. Oh my gosh. It goes on and on and on. Instead of airing out his business, JR got hit with that good old-fashioned child support and spousal support. My girl Sue Ellen Ewing is perusing and prancing around Dallas to the tune of around $22,000 American in the year of our Lord 2026. Roughly that amount of money. She's going to be doing just fine, but turns out Sue Ellen ain't never been on her own. And we know this because she is in what appears to be a townhome. I actually rewound it a little bit. It could just be a 2-story home on the corner, but the way that the camera angle looks, it looks like it's attached to other buildings. So let's say it's a townhome for the time being. It is gorgeous. Dusty's big fine daddy has accompanied her to look for a new house. She has decided to live in Dallas because she wants John Ross Ewing III to be close to Ellie and Jock to be able to visit. Notice she don't give a damn where his daddy is because he only get to see him, every other Thursday or something like that. But he was close to his grandparents. She wants to keep him there. She's feeling a little bit guilty about coming back to Dallas. So she asked Dusty's big fine daddy if he thinks she's foolish. And he's like, absolutely not. I will miss y'all, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to miss y'all a lot. It's so quiet down at the Southern Cross with Dusty leaving and now you and baby John Ross Ewing III. She says, don't worry about it. I'm going to be calling you all the time. I need so much advice. And he's like, well, have you ever been on your own? She goes, I haven't really. She's mentioned something about, I don't know if I can afford this place. This is so expensive. And Dusty's big fine daddy said to her something I've never heard a man on any of these shows tell a woman, not one time. He says to her, baby, you rich. Who gives a damn? Sue Ellen, you are wealthy. If you want it, buy it. Buy 2 or 3 of them. Don't even worry about it. And she's like, I'm just so scared. I'm really worried about this. And he's like, you've never been on your own? She said, man, I ain't never been on my own. I love this piece of history because now we know the former Miss Texas, after living with her very stage mommy, living vicariously through her daughter-y type mommy, Sue Ellen went off to college with 2 of her friends, which is not unusual at all. Well, at college, she met, I forget the name of that dude she was hooking up with last season, the one who liked to play tennis. She met him. He was cool until JR was cooler. And then she married him. Then she moved out to him and his mama's in him house. She's never once lived on her own unless you count the time she was in the insane asylum, which doesn't count because there's probably like 50 people there. But she did have her own bedroom that one time she went to jail. So let's say she's only been on her own one night and it was probably not the best. Well, Dusty's big fine daddy is more than happy to help her. He said, girl, call me anytime. I am only a phone call away. And me and Dusty got FU money. So if I need a helicopter, I can fly in whenever I want. You are the daughter I almost had. I freaking love him. That is so sweet. Guys, I do feel a little bit guilty because there was a brief moment there where I had the thought, an intrusive thought that, if I'm being honest, hasn't really left me. I say go for it, right? Go for it. Dusty's out bucking, broncoing, and whatever. He's going to be mad for a long time. Since he's already pissed off, why not just become his stepmom? Just saying. Although if I'm being honest, I don't think it's that kind of relationship. I think he genuinely he really does look at her like a daughter. So he's like, okay, well, let's go get that baby some clothes. Do you want me to help you set up financing for this new place? And she's like, oh my God, yes, please, please. It must be so refreshing. She also mentioned that she's spent money before, but it's always been JR's money. So she feels like she has to have approval with everything that she purchases. Sam Culver. Dusty's big fine daddy says, no, baby. You are a wealthy woman now. Don't even worry about that. Matter of fact, I'm going to set you up with some financial advisors. You're handling a lot of money now. We're going to make sure you set up well. And let's go get some furniture in this place. Let's deck this place out. She seems so grateful. He's probably one of the first people outside of Ellie, I was thinking about this, who genuinely just cares for her because they care for her. Now, I know Ellie likes her because that's her daughter-in-law, but Ellie doesn't like JR. Nobody can convince me that she does. I don't think she's liked him in 2 or 3 seasons. But she really does care for Sue Ellen, and she definitely cares for the baby, and they seem to really want the best for her. Speaking of Miss Ellie, I think I just jumped. Did I jump past that? I sure did. Okay. Ellie's walking at the beginning of the show On her own property, she's breathing in all the horse fumes. She's sort of reeling from the divorce. It's been splashed all over the tabloids. It's all over the Dallas papers. She seems a little bit stressed out, but probably pretty happy. Also, she's dealing with the fact that her son almost lost her land again. So she's got a lot on her mind. Probably really wise of her to walk the land and enjoy it just in case it's ripped out from underneath her again and again and again. But anyway, she's in this denim jumper that is very familiar to me. I bet this was probably one of the first few years it was in vogue. I have seen a resurgence of denim Pentecostal wear, as people are calling it, the denim skirts, the long ones, not the short ones, the denim jumpers. Back in my day, if you wore that jumper, I knew for a fact that you were either under the age of 12 or a quirky art teacher or over the age of about 65 back in the day. Today, people do vintage shopping and they make it look really cute. I like that on her. There's something sort of warm and familiar about it. She reminds me of like one of my teachers. Anyway, kind of minding her business. Somebody comes tearing up her driveway in a cart that says so-and-so's catering. I already forgot what it said, but this man hops out of the car. He's like, Miss Ellie, listen, I hadn't heard the phone ring. I have my phone on all day. I hadn't heard from you. What about this barbecue catering job? In so many words. And she's like, oh, Larry, hey, baby. I don't know if we're going to do the barbecue this year. Larry is a caterer. Larry is a unique part of the adult experience I don't think we talk about enough. Whereas Sue Ellen has lived under someone else's guide her entire life, experiencing independence for the very first time, and she's helpful. She's grateful, for the guidance. I would imagine that a person like Larry has been in her life. She probably has several Larrys, and I think you and I do too. Once you establish a routine, whether that's going to buy your groceries every Thursday morning or going to the gym every other afternoon, if you do it enough, if you are consistent in your routine, you will eventually have people learn your schedule. You will learn theirs too. You will learn who the cashier is at your favorite store in the morning. You learn who your favorite barista is, or the cashier at the grocery store. Hey girl, you still taking those night classes? Blah, blah, blah. You build a little bit of community. Larry seems to be community, and he has been waiting on that summer barbecue check. I can already tell Larry got children. Larry has plans. He ran up on Ellie like she was cheating on him. He's like, you're not using another caterer, are you? I hadn't heard from you. I started to get worried. And she's like, oh shit. Sorry, dude. I got a lot on my mind. You know what? I don't think we're going to have a barbecue this year. Joc's not even home. I don't think we're going to do it. He's like, no, we have to. You know what I'm saying? This is a tradition, baby. All the Dallas be talking about it. She's like, oh my God, you're right. I forgot I was that girl. Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and do the regular order. Do we need to go over anything? They have a quick little discussion. Larry gets in the car and swiftly wipes his brow. I laughed good and hard because it reminds me of my mom. Okay, so I think I've mentioned this on this show. I got my very first set of acrylic nails when I was 11 years old. Maybe I was 10 or 11, I can't remember. But it was Easter, so my birthday's in August. This would have been Easter. Let's just say I was 11 for the sake of the argument. Yeah, I was 11. I definitely was 11 going on 12. So it's Easter weekend. My mom's like, let's go get our nails done. I'd gone with her 1,020 times to the next town over to get her nails done. And I would just hang out, read my books, listen to my music, watch the TV in there, read the magazines. On that day, she's like, no, let's go ahead and get your nails done. So Charlie had been her nail husband for years at this point. Charlie knew who I was. I knew who Charlie was. We had bought Charlie and his wife a couple baby gifts. We were a family, okay? They were very close. This is when I'm 11. I think I'm probably like 32, 33. I happen to be in town where Charlie is, and I go to the salon to get my nails did. And he's in there and he's asking me about my mom and this. He kept bringing her up, which wasn't unusual. And I hadn't seen him in a really long time. And he's asking me, he's like, okay, well, tell your mama said hi. He just kept talking about her. I thought it was weird, but not really. So I didn't see my mom for probably another week. And then I told her about it. She was like, oh, Yeah, me and Charlie fell out. They have since worked it out. Let me verify that with her, but I believe they have since worked it out. You know, there were some changes made and she had been a loyal customer for a long time. I don't know what happened, but they had fallen out. They made up. And it made me think like there really are people in your life who are not your significant other. It is a completely platonic, but mutually beneficial relationship that you have with this person. Like it's a real relationship. And sometimes you break up with them. You ever had to break up with like your hairdresser or your braider? It's so difficult. Oh, it cracked me up. Larry and Ellie's relationship is still solid. They will still meet each other every single summer. And Larry says, don't worry, honey. I'll have everything set up for you on the 12th. She's like, perfect. We'll just turn the barbecue this year into a welcome home jock party. A little later on in the episode, Ellie comes downstairs for breakfast. Bobby and Pam are already sitting at the table. They start having a lovely conversation. Then you hear Lucy and JR arguing all the way down the steps into the kitchen, talking ish back and forth to each other. He's talking about, oh, you think you're a hotshot now that you got a little piece of that Ewing oil power or something like that. You know, she owns a tenth of the shares given to her by her deadbeat daddy. You think you're so powerful, don't you now, Lucy? Lucy's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. JR, by the way, did you want your kid back for power or because you really wanted him? He says, girl, if you don't get out my, why don't you go tell your junior plastic surgeon husband to make you a new face? Now, I cackled. I had to rewind because I didn't realize he kept talking. He could have stopped right there. Or if not, she should have stopped him and be like, let me stop you right there, JR. This mug, please. New face, please. I've seen Lucy. I've never seen her in real life, but I've seen recent pictures of her. She is still stunning. Stunning. That is the former Miss Young Dallas, sir. She don't need no new nothing. That is a North Texas Lolita. Put some respect on her name. What he says, though, is have your junior plastic surgeon of a husband make you a new face and make sure he leaves off the mouth. I cackled again. JR decided, I guess he came downstairs to basically fight with everybody. So he said something slick to Bobby about Bobby feeling like he's a hot shot. And Bobby's like, man, mama told me to go to the office. I'm going to join Ewing Oil again. He's like, didn't you mess it up the first time? Not really. No, not really. My God, Bobby needs a vacation. I'm exhausted when I think about the back and forth and back. He has to run around the handle all day. Well, before he can go too deep into that, and before Ellie can gently remind him that he's almost lost her house 2 times in 2 seasons, Donna Culver comes in just as JR storms out. Donna Culver looks to the women at the table and she says, Miss Ellie, Lucy, Pam, I'd like to invite y'all to something very calming and wonderful. Donna Culver talks like this. She never raises her voice. And she likes to extend all of her vowels in the back of her throat, just like so. I'd like to invite you all to something very special in town. Pam looks like she might have a little bit of Claudia the Stallion's tranquilizers or some of Maggie's mommy juice. Because she seems a little high. I'm just saying, allegedly. Oh, no, I can't go. I'm going to be with baby Christopher. Cool. Lucy's like, yeah, I'm down to go. Ellie's like, hell yeah, let me get my purse. Let me get up out of here. These kids getting on my nerves. I've only been up 20 minutes and everybody's getting on my damn nerves. I'll come with you, Donna. So Ellie and Lucy join Donna downtown at the bookstore. She wants them to be the first people or lay witness on Sam Culver, The Political Years, the book, the novella, the novel. I got it. I love a book. And I usually don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm 1000% judging that book by its cover. It is thick. It's a probably 700 pager. No, probably like a 500 pager, large print. Ugh, talking about his political years. This is supposed to be a riveting blockbuster of a novel. It is what it is. She's just there to take photographs of the book. Apparently the bookstore wants her to take photographs of it and they're going to use it in their advertisements around town. So the guy is snipping the picture, clickety click, clackety click, clickety clack click. Lucy's halfway looking at books to the side. So they're explaining to Donna how it's going to go. Pose this way, pose that way. The guy walks over to Lucy, the photographer that is, and he goes, "You're Miss Young Dallas, aren't you?" Immediately, I was skeezed out by this dude. It was really gross. Obviously, the actor is meant to be creepy. In my opinion, this is me projecting. Lucy corrects him. He goes, "Oh, no, I'm not. I'm the former Miss Young Dallas. My year is over." "Are you still modeling?" Creep. I guess it's not creepy that a photographer would know that she was young Miss Dallas. It is his tone. There's something about the way his lips are sitting that I really, really don't like. You ever see a little kid, hopefully it's a little kid, not a grown man, a little kid who's eaten 1 or 2 popsicles, especially like on a hot summer day? Those things are cold and delicious, but they stain like crazy. Now, if you wash your face, give it an hour or so, it'll come off. But you know what I'm saying? It stains the little kids' hands and their shirt, stains everything. And there's like a ring around their mouth for the rest of the evening after they eat this. He looks like he's eaten 2 or 3 popsicles and it's just sitting on his lips funny. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't like the words dribbling out of his lips. He hands Lucy a card. "You really should keep modeling. You're very photogenic." Yeah, young Miss Dallas generally would be, but thank you. And again, thank you. We all know that Miss Lucy's face card is, oh my, so beautiful. But he's basically salivating and she's basically flirting because she has no self-control. And she tells him, "You know what, I will. I'll keep this in mind. Lucy, my darling, you might as well you know what? No, Lucy, walk over to the children's section and I want you to look up a book called Hansel and Gretel. I want you to read it from cover to cover. It's probably only 20 or 25 pages. That is a cautionary tale, baby girl. You finna follow a candy trail right to an unmarked white van with blackout windows. You are going to be hog-tied, duck-tied, deep fried if you're not careful. That man is a psychopath. I stand on that. Didn't Lucy already get kidnapped in a van? Something about it was a green shag van. I can't remember if she got kidnapped or there was some sort of robbery. But anyway, I do believe she ended up kidnapped, or am I mixing her and Bobby up? Either way, it's about to happen again. That's what I think. This episode's theme seems to be complications of adulthood, joys and triumphs. One of the complicated things in adulthood, too, is realizing that you can have a group of friends. If they don't all remain friends, then you will be their friend and they are your friends, but they're not each other's friends. Ellie is no longer Sue Ellen's mother-in-law, but she is still John Ross Ewing III's grandmother. She and Sue Ellen still have a good relationship, so naturally it's okay for her to come over. Pam is technically no longer Sue Ellen's sister-in-law, but she is technically still John Ross Ewing III's auntie. I don't know why I'm saying technically. She's still his aunt as long as she's married to Bobby. Actually, I don't really care about that. I say that's your aunt regardless. A couple of my uncles are divorced and I still call their wives my aunts. Like, I just can't even imagine not doing that. But Aunt Pam and Grandma Ellie come by the house to not only see John Ross Ewing III, but they come by to see Sue Ellen because they love her. She is so happy to have them. "Y'all come on in. I'm so sorry. I didn't know y'all were coming. I'm just getting things straightened up." Her house is fly, y'all. God, I love this house. It is, I don't think I described it. So it's on the corner. She's got a bay window. She's got a beautiful staircase that is carpeted. It's got a really nice landing. So there's plenty of room. She could even put like a shelf over there if she really wanted to. Her kitchen is semi-private. There's like, it seems to take over one side of the house. So when you walk in the front door, you don't immediately see it, but over to your left, there's a doorway. You go through the kitchen that way. You can come out the other side where there's a bar. Beautiful, great for entertaining, great for privacy. It is just really, really nice. And Ellie and Pam ain't no haters. They really think her apartment, girl, this is cute. This looks so good. Ellie says, "If you need help, don't worry. I'll have people bring some stuff over from the house. I'll send someone to come and help you unpack. Don't even worry about it. I can't stand JR. I'm going to make sure that you're good." Pam gets to tell her about the brand new baby. She's super excited for her. She's pumped, like, "Girl, I'm so glad y'all got to adopt. Hey, wait a minute now. How come you didn't bring him?" Pam says it was too late to bring him out, but don't worry about it. You'll see him when you come and visit. So Ellen's like, "Ooh, Actually, I ain't never going back there again. Ever. Ever. Ellie's like, well, it's funny you mention it because that's why we're here. We are going to have a barbecue on the 12th. You think you can make it? She's like, no. Ellie, I get it. I appreciate it, but nah. Look, can we give her a month? Can we give her a year? It's girl, the trauma housed at the Ewing Ranch. She good. Okay, where should we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? Let me think this through. I guess we can tap dance on the other parts of the best parts of Ewing Barbecue 1, which were the Barneses, which are now the Barneses Wentworths. Catherine, the baby sister with the wolf eyes, has made a triumphant return. I guess she didn't dig New York too well. And it would appear that Rebecca set up some sort of interview for this girl to come and have an interview to be a reporter. Now, she and Rebecca are on the phone this entire scene. They're going back and forth between the two of them. And Rebecca says, well, we've been invited to the Ewing family barbecue. You want to go? She's like, yeah, I'll go. I think Cliff is going to pick her up from the airport or whatever. She'll be picked up. Her mom says, well, what time is your interview? This girl replies, oh, no certain time. No time at all. This is lesson number 4 in adulthood, just from this episode alone. The only acceptable ism is that nepotism. Okay, that nepotism has unlocked a door, opened a window, basically added a wing to the newsroom. Sounds like she got a job off the strength of her mama's paycheck or ability to write a check. Have you ever in your lifetime had an interview where you show up whenever the hell you feel like it? Yeah, I'll be there. Whatever. No email. She didn't send a video unless she literally recorded herself and oh my God, can you imagine the exhaustion? Literally recorded a video, put it in a sleeve, went down to the USPS and mailed it to the newsroom. They watched and thought, oh, you're a hit. Just come by any day of the week, any month of the year, anytime you want. And we'll set up an interview. Girl, bye. I choose to believe she was winging it this scene. One of you told me before, I'll have to go back and look it up, but they said that JR was so, I guess as the show goes on, I'm assuming she's going to stick around for a little bit. Yeah, y'all did tell me that. I think I already read it. They said that he was so like kind of intimidated by her eyes because they're so striking. They are, and her makeup this episode is so cute. Also, Rebecca J.G. Wentworth has on a fly matching pantsuit. Now, I might have old lady taste, but that looks so comfortable. It is purple. It is stunning. And they did such a good job casting these women as her daughters because they do look like her. They really do. Especially, what's the girl's name? Catherine. Catherine could definitely be her younger. Anyway, if we're going to talk about Rebecca J.G. Wentworth and Catherine Wentworth, and we've already mentioned Pam in passing just a little bit, we got to talk about Cliff Barnes, who might be my very favorite Barnes. So Cliff, although he's very, very disappointed that JR is not going to do jail time or that he didn't lose everything and Cliff didn't get to buy him out, he does get the satisfaction of owning Ewing 6, which, according to family lore, should have been Digger Barnes' first one had he not drunk away the night and signed over that entire lease to Jock Ewing some 40 years ago or something like that. Well, Cliff is cool with it. Cliff is talking to his mama Rebecca in her fly plum outfit. And she says, honey, we have been invited to the Ewing barbecue. He is loudly eating a pear. And he says, okay, you may have been invited to the Ewing barbecue. I guarantee you they invited me because he was there the last time. He saw the way his daddy showed his ass. He saw the way it went to hell in a handbasket quickly. And he remembers Pam falling from the rafters. He's like, nah, I promise you we weren't invited. At least not me. But I'm going to go. For sure. I'll make sure I'm going to be there anyway. He's riding the high of having Ewing 6. So what had happened was Cliff, now that he's a man of means, and because he's always been intelligent. He is good at his research. He has done his due diligence, and he probably got the hookup, now that I'm thinking about it, from the cartel. He hired a young wildcatter who has expressed to him that he knows how to dig. He didn't use the word fracking, but in modern terms, he knows how to frack. Now, this technology obviously would have been newer, not brand new, newer in the 80s, probably didn't exist at all in the 60s or before that. And today it's pretty common. So you can produce quite a bit from that. And, that produces all these other industries surrounding the oil industry. You got the different parts, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I'm trying to leave out my modern mind with this. But if Cliff is able to frack and pump oil from Ewing 6, he could really turn his life around. He could be a cajillionaire. Now, JR, on the other hand, manages to talk to the accountant. You remember the guy that he sent on vacation while he was doing all the dirt work? That guy is back, and he's none the wiser that the whole company almost went kerplunk. He has no idea yet. I guess he hadn't sat at his desk. But JR asked him about the revenue and the productivity of Ewing 6. And the man tells him, oh, it's dry. Why do you ask? He explains that it has been sold to another party. And that guy's like, oh, that's great. We'll just use it as a tax write-off. It was never producing anything anyway. It's actually really smart that you got rid of it. So now JR is kind of resting in that knowledge, but he doesn't realize it. Cliff and this young, really cute wildcatter are probably going to start fracking. He's finna be paid, if I'm understanding this correctly. Just a quick aside. During the gold rush, they said most of the people who became millionaires didn't become millionaires off of the gold. It was the people who sold the shovels, the pans, and all the equipment in the oil business. Even, I hope Cliff plays this right. I hope the writers did a little bit of research. Probably they did. Cliff could very easily become a millionaire from being like a transporter or buying a pipe yard or something. The equipment, yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Well, maybe not in the 80s. I forgot about that. I don't know how that went. I'm sure there's 4 or 5 crashes in. Moving on. Cliff is on the up and up. And apparently he's starting to smell a little different. He's starting to smell like money, because before you know it, he gets a phone call from Afternoon Delight. Mind you, not 4 or 5 episodes ago, she called him a total loser. And then she had to hit him up again because JR had kicked her to the curb and she wanted revenge. And now she's got to call him up and hit him up again because she can't find gainful employment. Well, let me be clear. It's not that she can't find gainful employment. She can't find gainful employment where she gets to keep her tatas in her bra. Everybody wants her chesticles out while she sings, and she just wants to sing. She wants to sing rhythm and blues over biscuits and gravy or filet mignon or whatever. She don't really care. As long as she gets a free meal and a stage to sing on, she's quite happy with that. She's also a lot more honest at these last few episodes than she has been previously. She's like, okay, well, Cliff, now that you're rich, you're suddenly better looking. And I know you're doing a lot better. He's like, yes, I am. I am the president of Wentworth Tool and Die. And she says, well, that doesn't mean that I don't think you're not a very sexy and an appealing man. And I got to think about my future. You know what I'm saying? She then goes on to explain to him that she is the sort of woman who has to align herself with a man of power and prestige. But she's not going to just hook up with any old, grumpy, gross man. She only likes hotties when she's hooking up with old, grumpy men. He's fine with that. And he's like, okay, well, I got a little more power now, baby girl. Why don't you be my date a little later on? Dude, Bobby needs a Zanny. This is so exhausting. I'm starting to feel so bad for him. He's still doing his due diligence to now get this baby adopted, or at least make sure no one else can take him. He's still being so ambiguous though when it comes to his friend who's a lawyer, and the dude has done a little more digging, and he's like, okay, if the baby doesn't have a mother or a father, they're generally supposed to be a ward of the state, and you go through the proper avenues that way. If this baby is free and clear and like you knew the mother but you don't know the father, then we got to figure out who the heck the dad is, because the dad actually has first claim to this baby. So I'm wondering how Bobby's going to get out of this. It's like you can only hold the baby for so long. The doctors are already waiting patiently for the baby's shot records and stuff like that, and it's just not happening. So he can only string these people along for so long. Let's flip the script for a minute and talk about Ray Culver. Oops. That's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. What's his name? I almost called him Ray Donovan. Ray Baby Oil. Come on, Jet. Come on. Baby Oil. Hat. Krebs. Ray Krebs is not media trained. Why Donna Culver Krebs would think it'd be a swell idea to bring this man to an interview, I'm sure I don't know. The only explanation I can come up with is that it was at their home. So he just happened to be there and he's kind of sexy. So she's like, yeah, honey, come outside. I want everybody to know I'm with a cowboy now. Undo the first 2 buttons of your shirt like Chase. Put a little baby oil on and let's do the damn thing, okay? So the reporters are doing their job, but they're being a little bit invasive with the questioning. There's some controversy, according to them, about how Donna Culver's first husband managed to get into political offices. It seems like there's been a discrepancy with the voting and whatnot. They also felt like he became more liberal the older he got. And they say generally people become more conservative. So Donna is able to explain all this with ease. It is a breeze to her. She says, well, yes, he opened his mind as he got older. He didn't fold in on himself. So yes, if that's the name you want to call it, that's fine. He wouldn't have labeled himself a conservative or a liberal. But she's like, yeah, he opened his mind. He saw different things. He changed his mind over time, which is why I put it in this best-selling book. Next question. They ask about the discrepancies with his voting. She goes, well, I'm not sure about that, but I do know that when he served in office, he did his very best to represent all people at all times. And that is why I was able to write this smash hit of a blockbuster of a book. You can pick it up today at Barnes & Noble. Next question. That's all, Mrs. Krebs. Thank you so much. While she leaves, the reporters see Ray sitting there looking on, and they pounce. Gee golly, must be a hard act to follow. How do you like the politics, Ray? Well, I don't much do politicians. One of the ladies says, Sam Culver must be a hard act to follow. Why you go with what kind of what are you saying exactly, madam? That's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Ray's just sitting there seething. There's only one way this is going to end, with Ray in the hot Texas sun feeling all insecure and whatnot. Okay, also speaking of insecure, before we get to the barbecue, we got to talk about J.R. The complications of adulthood is managing those relationships like we talked about earlier. It could be the relationship you have with your hairstylist that you need to dump. It could be your nail tech guy. It could be your former mother and sister-in-law. Or it could be your ex-darn husband. Sue Ellen is chilling in her fly new townhouse or house. She is enjoying the crap out of her day and her freedom. She hears a ding dong. She's expecting deliveries. You know, she's got furniture coming. She's got old things coming. She's got help coming. She opens the door without a care in the world, only to find JR with an armful of skinny ass red roses. JR, how did you find my house? My mama told me. Damn, Ellie. Now, Ellie, we were cool. Now I got to call and maybe cuss you out. Maybe. Let me see how this goes. She doesn't want him in her personal space. And I totally get that, Ellie. That's not okay. That's not okay. Not that it should be a big secret. Maybe they were going to meet at the library to drop the baby off. I don't know how all that was going to go. But you have taken away Sue Ellen's power of choice. And she is in a very fragile state. She has never lived alone. Anyway, JR waltzes in and John Ross Ewing III hears his father's voice and he comes gleefully running around the corner. Daddy. Oh man, they get on the floor and they have a good old time with letter blocks. You're familiar with letter blocks, right? Usually they are blocks with letters they're like chiseled on them. Not in this case. These are actual letters. So it's like the letter A carved out of a block, the rest of the alphabet too. It's been a long time since I owned a set of those. My kids have had a couple sets of those and no, they're kids with blocks. Or those magnets that you put on the fridge to spell out the alphabet. In my experience, of course, I'm in a different tax bracket than the Ewings. I've never had a set of alphabet letters where where you got more than two of the same letter at best. Maybe they throw in 3 A's. They might triple up the vowels, but the consonants, you're kind of on your own. You got to keep your language very basic and very simple because, I mean, they're meant for children. They're not supposed to be spelling out words like haberdashery or anything with double letters. Not really. So JR gets on the floor, and I guess he's decided to turn a new leaf. He has cussed this woman out. He has embarrassed her. He's dragged her through the mud. He's boned her sister, probably her mom, if I'm guessing, all of her friends, no doubt. He decides, I'm going to fight fire with fire. I'm going to kill her with kindness. I just miss you, and I'm glad that you're in my life still. And she wants to know, why didn't you embarrass me in court? Did you really just not do it because your mom was there? Because that's what I think. Because you're a mama's boy. He's like, no. I want my son to respect me when he gets older. And if I call his mama all kinds of hoes in court, he's liable to read that someday. JR was forward thinking. He knew the internet would be a thing. And he's like, okay, yeah, I don't want my son to hear me totally disrespecting you. Because if he can read about that, he could probably figure out that your daddy had another baby too. But that's neither here nor there. It is time for the alphabet lesson with father and son. So JR gets on the ground with John Ross Ewing III, and he spells out mama, M-A-M-A. Immediately, I'm like, that's an expensive set of alphabets because that's double letters there, double letters. Okay, cool. 2 A's, 2 M's. Got it. He then goes to spell out daddy, D-A-D-D-Y. I said, now wait a damn minute. When have you ever bought an alphabet set and there's 3 D's in it? 3 D's in phase? You're joking. The last word, he tells him, is most important. I'm thinking it's going to be love. And then the other part of my brain is super basic. It's like dog. No, the word is oil, O-I-L. And then he L-E-A-V-E. And Sue Ellen is sitting there looking F-U-N-N-Y. And I'm still flabbergasted that they managed to put 3 D's in this alphabet set. These some highfalutin 80s babies. I'm telling you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the best part of this episode. Now, I am sad to announce that this barbecue is not nearly as controversial as the previous one. Mitch does take a little time from plastic surgery to come and visit Lucy. Now, Lucy has been so happy this entire episode. That's all she's talking about is that Mitch is coming, Mitch is coming, Mitch is coming, Mitch is coming. Mitch is also doing a phenomenal job being a plastic surgeon, or junior plastic surgeon, as JR called him, and I think I'm going to call him that as well. What happens is that pretty lady I was telling y'all about last time, the one who seems kind of young for a facelift, I don't know what they're going to lift. I guess she wasn't being as forthcoming, and it seems that she might have another condition because of Mitch's phenomenal bedside manner and the conversations he's having with her now she's opening up. He's starting to recognize a few patterns that she's sort of a heavy bleeder. She gets a lot of nosebleeds. She gets this and that and all the time. And it's not that he's concerned that she's going to die, but he's like, okay, wait a minute, we're missing something. This is where all of that research history comes into play, and it works really well for his new profession. So he goes to Dr. Chicken Bone Jones and he breaks it down and says, that 38-year-old woman who thinks she's going to get a facelift, I think she might have blase disease. He's like, oh, word. Mitch lays it out. Dr. Chicken Bone Jones like, damn, no. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I'm so glad I didn't slice and dice up her perfectly fine, non-stretchable face. Let's hold off on the surgery until further notice. Because of Mitch's groundbreaking discovery and his trustworthiness and his good bedside manner and his overall eagerness to be a phenomenal doctor, he of course can't hang out at the barbecue for too long. But it doesn't matter because the rest of the people show up, y'all, and I can't hardly wait to talk about it. The first people we see pull up in a Mercedes-Benz is my girl Sue Ellen Ewing in a denim dress, deep V-neck. She's got the lady bolo. You know what I'm saying? She's got the poof. So it's like a prairie dress, but it's denim. I love it. She hops out the front seat holding John Ross Ewing III. My nerves go through the roof, but I'm like, you know what, Jet? It's okay. Babies weren't precious in 1982. Ride in the front seat. To hell with the seatbelt. Sit in the lady's lap. No one cares. Well, she is driven by none other than Big Fine Dusty Daddy himself. I love the boldness of this man. He wants to come to the barbecue because he wants to see Jock Ewing to his face. Now, I wonder what he really wants to say to Jock, but I think he likes Miss Ellie. He likes kikiing with Miss Ellie, if nothing else. Well, turns out it's a very small world because the car behind them is Cliff. Let me make sure I got that right. I think it's Cliff Barnes and Rebecca. Let me double check. Yeah, it's Cliff, his mama, and his sister, Catherine. I couldn't remember if Afton had shown up with him or not. I guess she's already there because she's technically family. I forgot to mention this part too. Oh, God, I'm so excited. Nobody's snockered just yet. Clayton Farlow, a.k.a. Big Fine Daddy, showed up with Sue Ellen, talking about he wants to meet Jock. And JR is like, well, is that the only reason you came? Clayton Barlow says, no, I once I figured out Sue Ellen was coming by herself, I thought I might should show up with her. JR says, oh, you're protecting her from me? Clayton Barlow says, well, I've been protecting her so far. Basically saying, JR, if you want some, come get some. You want to start something? Let's do something. Don't let the age fool you. That dude's got paws. He's got those big old jock hands too. He probably knock you the next Thursday. But it's such a small world. Guess who he knows? Rebecca. JG Wentworth gets out the back of the car and she looks and she said, I know that ain't Clayton. He's like, what's up, B? What's up, Becky? Him and Becky go way, way back. They real good friends. He's like, you want to cut a rug, darling? She says, let's cut a rug. And they get on the floor and they start dancing. They're having a good time. Okay, so we are led to believe that Pam is not willing to go downstairs because she wants to spend all her time with baby Christopher. And I don't blame her. He is so chunky and cute. He is precious. Her sister comes upstairs and they play with the baby just for a minute. But I'm watching this little heifer like a hawk. I don't like the way she's looking. Bobby up and down and up. She got a thing for Bob, I can tell. Bobby's getting cuter to me too as time goes by. He is. It's because he's getting older. I think that's what it is for me. You can't look like a young man. Like you need to look like a grown man for me. And since nobody on these shows has beards, sometimes I have to remind myself. Like he's probably 34, but in my head, I don't know. He looks a little young. She's looking him up and down and up. That baby is so dang cute. Give her a second. I'm like, I don't think that's strange. It's a loud, hot barbecue. She's been in an insane asylum for a little bit. She probably just needs a little time to acclimate. Give her space. Let's be cool about it, okay? It behooved me not to tell you all that this is the most Chase Giaberti chesticle-bearing episode of Dallas thus far. Surprisingly, Ray V. Krebs does not have his whole chest out, but do you know who does? Cliff. I didn't know Cliff didn't own anything outside of a suit jacket. I don't think I've ever seen him without 4 or 5 pieces of clothing on. He is feeling very sexy. He must have just watched Saturday Night Fever or something because he comes out with the bell bottoms. He got on a tight, and I'm talking Gary Ewing tight shirt. He got his buttons done Chase Giaberti low. His chest is greasy. He is feeling himself, y'all. I don't know what happened. Ray is buttoned all the way up with a bolo tie, but he's drunk as a skunk, and all that's running through his mind is, I'm not a real Ewing. I lost $1 million. Actually, I didn't lose any money. I broke even. Oh, phooey, my wife's rich, and she's talented, and she writes bestsellers. And she comes up with this lovely older gentleman who wants to chat with Ray, but he embarrasses the ish out of Donna. He throws egg in her face by walking off with some little Pop-Tart to go dance right in front of Donna and her friend. He's offended because now she's got a political scene. He's actually wearing a baby shower reveal shirt where it's like, or gender reveal shirt. It's like pink and blue, pink and blue. He's just acting a fool this whole episode. So now he's going to go rubbing up and down on Tony, embarrassing the girl. Her friend is like, girl, you going to let that be? That's how y'all get down here? I ain't going to lie. This band is kind of popping. They got a live band. Everybody's having a real good time. Ray is continuing to get drunk on the dance floor. And good sister Catherine, I don't like her. I don't think I've liked her from the moment she stepped on this show. She's asking all these questions about Pam. I guess they seem innocent enough, but they don't seem innocent enough. I know why it is. Because I have been watching Knots Landing and she's giving me Abby vibes. It's not just the eyes. It is I'm planning something and I'm going to hit up one of these dumb Ewings who don't really know what's up. Now, Bobby and his chest hairs get interrupted, thank God, by a guy with a sweet reindeer bolo tie. I've never in my years of living seen anything like that. But this man with the reindeer bolo tie happens to be a county judge, and he heard about the baby, and he's like, yeah, I'm probably going to see you and Pam in court. I'm the guy who's over all of the adoptions and whatnot. I think this is Bobby's opportunity to figure this whole thing out. I just don't know if it's wise. My only complaint about this scene is that the extras in Dallas are not as good as the extras on Dynasty. Allow me to explain. You can tell they're probably a little bit starstruck by this point because there's a scene where Clayton and Rebecca are talking to each other, and you can see a guy in the background just staring at them. Like he's supposed to be pretending to be at the party. He's totally just staring at them. There's a couple dancing on the dance floor where they're just staring at whoever's talking. They're not really mingling, and it doesn't pull you out of the scene. It's just a little bit distracting. I guess you could be ear hustling too. Y'all, Cliff got on a unbuttoned shirt. Did I mention he has on a gold chain? He's got on a gold chain, and JR has got on an ascot. So I guess it's a brand new day in Dallas. Okay, let's wrap this here party up. Afton comes and she wants to dance with Cliff because now he has money. She also wants to make JR jealous, but he doesn't really give a damn. And he tells her as much. He's like, well, misery loves company. Y'all look great together. You look absolutely miserable and wonderful together. But that is very short-lived. Cliff is out on the dance floor boogie-woogieing with Afton, who has baby breath in her hair, when he sees Sue Ellen come out in that denim prairie dress, and that's all she wrote. He got to dance with her. Are we going to start this up again? Surely not. Surely not. This girl just got her own apartment. Let it be. It's a good thing, too, that he pulls her in for the dance because she's upset. She'd just gone upstairs to that fever dream of a nursery. And JR walked in and asked her if she missed it. And she goes, yeah, I've always loved this nightmare of a nursery. He goes, no. Do you miss it? And he puts his hand on her face and he's looking all in her eyes. And before you know it, you can see her sort of melting into him. And then she snaps out of it. She realizes, oh gosh, she gets upset with him, but it's like she's probably more upset with herself that it's that easy. There's just something about him that draws her in each and every time. But she knows the quickest way to get over JR is to get on with somebody else. So she starts dancing with the Bee Gees version of Cliff Barnes, which I'm here for. He could be the CBs. The heebie-jeebies. Okay, so probably most important scene. Clayton Barlow, Rebecca, and Miss Ellie are chilling underneath a yellow and white tent at a barbecue, which is prime real estate. They are 100% in the shade. You can tell they're throwing shade. They're laughing. They're having cocktails. They're having a good old time. Lucy comes out of the house and says, there's somebody on the phone for you. Ellie goes in. Meanwhile, everybody's outside dancing to hoedown music, probably the same music that Digger Barnes was dancing to. Next time you see her, she is, oh my God, she's frozen. She's holding the phone at her waist and she's trying to catch her breath. JR had been upstairs on the balcony watching Sue Ellen dance. He was disgusted, so he came downstairs. Ellie explains to the audience and JR that Jacques was flying from the interior by helicopter and his plane crashed. They have been looking for Jacques all day. They can't find him. They can't find anything at all. Everybody's given up and they're saying that he is dead. But I'm not doing this scene justice. As entertaining as the rest of the episode has been, oh my God. It is so devastating. It is devastating. I cried 2 times. You know, that doesn't take much for me. But you can feel her pain. It is palpable. And I know she's a damn good actress. I know she's a mighty fine actress. I think this might be one of the first times where they actually get to express the loss of Jim Davis on camera. Absolute, pure perfection. I'm starting to suspect that the Ewing barbecues are going to be pretty pop. This is the first one they've had in a long time, but oh man. Tour de force. Only thing I can say about that. Tour de force. Beautiful scene. Absolutely heart-wrenching. Absolutely devastating. End scene. That is a lot to take in, y'all. We're going to jump into another primetime soap opera next, so make sure you join us next time. The highs and lows, that's life. This episode was no different. This was an exceptional episode. Things are really cooking up. We got Catherine in town giving Bobby big old eyes. Our guest, Cliff Barnes, is on his BGs. He's about to roll into some money, if I'm right. Pam is settling deep into motherhood, but is she in too deep? Llewellyn is expressing and experiencing independence for the first time. Will it last? Bobby may or may not be slipping into something he can't pull himself out of. I just don't really know. I don't know what the workaround is unless he somehow says he's a baby's dad. You would think, I guess it's possible. Maybe it's not possible, but it is very possible that he could have the same blood type as JR. I feel like that would have come up already if that was the case. But man, this is getting good. And Jock has been announced as either missing and or dead this episode. So we'll have to see where they go from here. All right, guys, don't forget that you can reach out to me in the show notes. Absolutely adore hearing from you. You can send me a text by clicking that link. You can even send a voicemail by clicking the exact same link. Or if you want to get into it a little longer, you got a lot to say, you want to send some pictures or whatever, I'm here for it. You can reach out to me at soaplordpodcast@gmail.com. That's soaplordpodcast@gmail.com. In the meantime, in between, is it denim season again? Do we need denim jumpers and bolos? I don't know, you tell me. Stay hydrated, stay moisturized, mind your own business, and keep all of your drama